His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because the Asa is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Komot Town, which was carried out through a court order. How does your administration ensure that such enforcement action are done fairly and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. If that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
Why will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink, you could find him passing around, practically dead and useless. Why will such a man conduct make you we are vexed that you will struck the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commenced the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people They all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah, ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court. They got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, it's up to them. The very Gregory Comer today, he worked in the previous administration when Weah came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we had always been molded. That's how God has already molded Weah and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That has been his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they cared. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never, ever buy in to your tricks. He would never, ever.
This government assigned security to the former president's house. This government is capable of bribing any of its security to plan any evil in the former president's house. This government has done so many things that have questioned the credibility of the president. They have manipulated the law. They have manipulated security. The president has interfered with investigations of other issues that we know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. We know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. We know of. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. Nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
People are really uncertain because
the complex situation in Venezuela requires a comprehensive response that is both inclusive and nationally owned. We continue to hold that a sustainable and peaceful resolution can only be found through constructive dialogue among Venezuelans themselves with genuine respect for the aspiration and rights of the Venezuelan people, and with the constructive support of the international community. The A3 expresses its solidarity with the people of Venezuela and reiterates the African Union's commitment to peace, stability, and mutual respect among nations and regions.
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their side is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow We'll continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Good afternoon. Thank you so very kindly that you place us on your itinerary. Wednesday, the 15th day of January 2026, the reign of Judo Christopher, Real Talk, Kings 88.5. And as always, Sam Andrews. Yes, it's Sam Andrews. We're back again. The vexation is about to start within the Unity Party officials, the anger, the emotion. It's another day again. Thank you so very kindly, man. We can appreciate you the more. Let's have a wonderful info time together, an obligation to make our country, Liberia, better, because we are all stakeholders, an obligation, not a choice. Grateful we are to God Almighty, the creator and sustainer of the universe. We can help but bless his holy name for keeping watch over us, leading us into this day, and still hovering and will continue to hover us. What the God we serve, faithful in all of his ways, never reneging on his promises, but fulfilling every word that he utters in the fullness of his time for our benefit. The King Support Basket, the announcement before we get to what we've got before us for today. Please don't forget, we will always remind you of the basket. We are family, and family never forget family. Always remember family. Please do whatever you can, as we will appreciate, as we have always also appreciated and will continue to appreciate. Please drop whatever you can. The basket is just as open. Send wave 0555 885 885 0555 885 885. The local mobile money number 0777 017 885. 0777 017 885. Whatever you can, we will appreciate, as we have always appreciated you. Thank you so very much. Our partners, the Radio Entertainment Liberia, I think, is giving out some cash every day. They give out money. It is the normal. That's why you always have to be in the normal. They gave out some cash through us to you. You want to get some money. Once the notification is in, we will inform you of how many dollars are for grabs for you, so that you get your day going, your week better. Yes. This too is LIB. Interesting country, mystery country. Musa El Sharif, New Georgia, Gatnesville, Malu Fofana, 20 Street Sinker, Stanley Anderson, Waterside, Michael Joe, Gatnesville, Kearsley Boulevard, Silva, Washington, Brove City, Philip Tukpa, Dallas, Texas, USA, Lucia Lake, University of Liberia, Ezekiel Johnson, Chicken Soup Factory, Emmanuel Bro, USA, Emmanuel Gue, Japan Freeway, Benson Dario Victor, Broad Street, Morris Gray, ELWA Rehab Community, Bapin Paul Lee, Johnsonville, Harris City, Caldwell, Joseph Movie, 72nd Community, Venetia's Bar, Nuclear Town, Claude de Port, Gamonte McIntosh, Old Road, Saturday Woodaway, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, Jeremiah Labla, So Clinic, William Derry Wulu, spokesperson, Civil Rights Movement of Liberia, Eric Goa, Texas, USA, Bobby Kennedy, SDA Junction, Ben Gue Jr., Nima County, Alexander Dolly, USA, Clady Addison, Delaware, USA, Augustine Johnson, Boys Town. Yes, okay, that is acknowledged. Usman Saul, Gale Street Business Center, Gabriel Lawson Iron Factory, Bros Street, Orito Jikla, Patricia Zia, your office, Jukonti Chie, your business center, Jumunkoli, from your residents, all of you great people. My dear sister Orita Sunday Way Choir, good to have you on. Hope that you are faring well. The chairman himself is on. The one and only chairman for life, the common citizen chairman, the chairman that is doing a lot, I am told, in his community. The chairman has installed free internet for the people of the locale. Yes, he is the chairman of Iron Factory Block 13 Intellectual Center. Great initiative. Chairman Roman Rico Kennebor, or Latupan for short, a diehard Jowian, diehard sedition. The man, I am told, installed internet for the people in the community so that they are on top of issues. They know what is unfolding. And he couldn't have thought any creatively, given the time that we are in, the age of technology. So people are not left uninformed, but rather informed, that nobody will lie to you. So that's good. Good initiative. Good initiative. Hope other people can take advantage or do same in their community, especially lawmakers, other people who have the ability to do take on this initiative with just a couple of weeks to 2029. Embark on these things. They help the people you will need to vote for you, the people you will be speaking to. There's no better time to get them enlightened, exposed than now. That's great initiative by the chairman of Iron Factory Block 13 Intellectual Center. Good initiative. Free internet for the people to get on to know what is happening. That's good. The man is a die-hard supporter of George Weah and CDC. So he does everything he can to keep his people informed against the ravaging Unity Party. Great initiative, Mr. Chairman. So let's start with what is unfolding out of Liberia briefly. A mass grave containing the remains of 21 African migrants have reportedly been discovered in eastern Libya. Local media, citing the Adabia branch of the Internal Security Agency, reported that security forces raided a farm owned by Libyan human smuggler, uncovering migrants held for ransom in inhumane conditions, some with gunshot wounds. Authorities said the smuggler killed the migrants after their families failed to pay the ransom. The suspect is now understood to be in police custody awaiting trial, while local residents and activists have called for the death penalty to be activated. The Human Rights Office has described Uganda's suspension of 10 NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and restrictions on internet access as deeply worrying, stressing that open access to information is essential for free and genuine elections. Uganda's communications regulator said the temporary internet shutdown aims to prevent misinformation, electoral fraud, and incitement to violence. The United Nations says all Ugandans must be able to participate in shaping the country's future. Ugandans are voting today, January 15, to elect a president and members of parliament. President Yoweri Museveni, in power since 1986, is seeking a 7th term and faces several challenges, including opposition leader Bobby Wine, who is seen as the leading opposition figure there. So Ugandans are participating or casting the ballot presently. And Bobby Wine has been very vocal, very aggressive, forceful, and articulative of the issues, convincing the voters why he's the right person, why it is the time that they do the right thing by voting him, even though they are many, and he will caution the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. There's something he said watching his interview before the casting of the ballot, that he held a meeting with ECOWAS officials, African Union officials, IGAP. I think that's, at his house, at his residence in Uganda. And he told them that they have to report whatever they see. They should hide nothing, compromise nothing, because democracy always dies in the dark. He was blunt with them. He ended by telling them that they have always been part of electoral crisis, electoral disputes in Africa, and he hopes that they will do the needful by not covering up and saying that the situation, even though there were skirmishes, there were this, there were that, but wasn't major enough that the opposition should accept the elections. He was very blunt. Hope that you can have the opportunity to watch that interview before today's vote. And he couldn't have been any clearer than he was. He couldn't have been blunt as he was. This is not an indictment, but I think we've seen that in our country too over the years. ECOWAS will come in and say, oh, this and that, you accept the result. This is why the opposition going into 2029, we've been talking, they got to be very united with one voice, be aggressive, be supportive of each other, and just don't allow the power that be to have its own way. Otherwise than that, the opposition community will not stand a better chance going into 2029 or the 2029 elections. So with that, let's get to what we've got on our plate. Before then, we've been having several incidences. You parents have to be very careful with your child or children. It is becoming rampant. You have to guide against neglect. Already, boys are being sodomized. Girls are being used for different orgy activities. Girls are getting missing. And then you can tell. We just had the situation with a 13-year-old girl named Tutuge Gawe reported missing. According to the information, she left her Keba, Batnosville residence between 7:45, 8 a.m. That was on Sunday. That was on Sunday, yes. And she left wearing a black skin tight, skin tight, and strappy blouse with slippers. Since then, they have not seen her. They don't know where she is presently, whether she in somebody's private custody or she's with friends amusing themselves. But what is even worrying to the parents, since Sunday, no sign whatsoever, no sign. And so, yeah, please help those of you in the Kebab, Batnosville, Dryers Market area. If you came across her, you can do the needful by just taking her to a Kebab police station. There is a police station there, and the police will take custody of her and ensure and get in contact with her auntie, who is Marilyn Weir. You want to help. And this should not be Liberia. The parents too, some of the parents, they are just don't care. You just don't care. Whole day and every day, week in, week out. They come in. I can't find my daughter. My son went missing. 2 days now, he left the house. He was just playing in front of her with the children. We're in a very terrible time. If you don't understand the signs of the time, well, you will regret it. Most of you parents have to drop the neglect. You people are too negligible of your child or children. You have no time to take care. You have no time to watch over. You people are so involved with activities. Some of the activities are just not activities for you to get involved with. And some of them are just pleasure, apart from the ones that are businessing, that are doing other things, have office work. But majority of the others, they just don't care. Don't care. Then we'll go around looking for my child. My child gone missing. Your try, man. Yeah. All right. So anyone coming across Tutuge Gawe, yeah, please take her to Keba Police Depot so that she can be reunited with her parents. Her auntie is Marilyn Weir, and she can be contacted on 0770 34 29 94 0886 34 29 94. Please, we don't want to hear she was discovered and then this one gone, that one gone, they did to her. You just don't trust this atmosphere. So, not a surprise at all. I knew it. We saw it coming because it is the norm of the government. When they mess up, they come with quote unquote clarification as if the rest of the people are muumuns, people with rock in their heads. They are not people who are educated, not people who can reason. It does not make any sense in any given way to make a clarification on something that everybody knows. When I say everybody, I mean the average and the educated. It doesn't make sense at all. Everybody knows it. They analyze it. They know what is a visa, what is immigrant, what is suspension. They know what is unfolding. They may not have an understanding of the activities that are unfolding in all of the countries, but they are informed of the ones they are informed about. So what there to clarify? You can only clarify when there is ambiguity, and that ambiguity is coming from you. You cannot clarify another person's position. You can only clarify your own when you have realized there is a difficulty in understanding or the people understanding you. But you cannot clarify another person's position. The person who gave that position is the person who understands it. It's the person who knows why he said it, how he said it, what he meant. You cannot clarify another person's statement when you are not the author of it. It does not make sense. If you ever did, it's a mental dementia. You put yourself in the position of a schizophrenic. How can you clarify something you know nothing about? It's out. People are giving their analysis. They are putting their reasoning to it. Your clarification would mean nothing. Secondly, only those who are weak mentally will always play the begging the question game. And that's what the government did today. Not a surprise to hear that coming from the Ministry of Information. They are reactionary. They are damage control institution. They not focus driven. They're not the kind of Ministry of Information that is helping the government or helping Joseph Boakai. No. So they go there and just say what they think they can say, and it's all because they are government officials, but they are not helping the government. Two things here. One, I'm talking about the clarification, not necessary. Everybody knows what came out. So whether the United States government suspended a visa whether it is to certain people and not to certain people, or in certain category and not in certain category, it's not the government of Liberia that can do that clarification. Everybody knows that. I only see that as shifting away from negligence. Yes, the second. The Minister of Information, Jeremy Pia, in one of his usual filibustering or posturing unnecessarily, said that the way America sanctioned criminals, he referred to those people as criminals. America sanctioned criminals in George Weah's government. It would not happen to Unity Party government. That the Unity Party government would not allow the kind of sanctions that came for George Weah officials. That the United States, in his words, did not sanction George Weah government, but those it considered criminals. That the United States did not restrict all visas, but the restriction applies only to immigrant visas. The Minister of Information needs to just educate his people within the ministry. Sometimes when you have nothing to do, no job, nothing serious, you just need to be quiet. Sometimes Minister Pia just need to be quiet because you think that you're making sense, but your sense may not be impactful. The people gone, the message gone, it finished. No amount of clarification can help with this thing. No amount of clarification. The United States government can clarify. And they're not clarifying because they did not make any mistake. Nothing is ambiguous. Nothing is difficult to understand in their statement. They release a statement. They say suspension of immigrant visa, 75 countries. They did not say in the statement, this category is restricted to this. These categories are exempt. They finish. So you now, if you think the people made mistake, they didn't know what they write, then you will be the dullest person to come and say you clarify. And what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs did, that was too low, too petty, too tiny of an institution or a government. This is not my emphasis, but you can talk about this. You can talk about the main thing without going in this area. My emphasis is on what the minister said, referencing the Weah's government, that the United States government would not sanction Unity Party government because they would do nothing that will warrant sanction. Come to think of it, listen to the Minister of Information. The two eras are not the same. The sanction came not necessarily that the United States government was convinced of the sanctions they imposed, but you Unity Party people were under it 24/7. And this is an open secret. Everyone knows that. How you people were very rude, unnecessarily aggressive, that you people were leading this country into war. You created destabilization, insecurity. You had all kinds of deadly and nasty propaganda you were carrying out. You went to Washington telling the people how the government is this, the government is doing that. And this is not to say that the CDC government was perfect. Certainly not. I wouldn't sit here to tell you that everything was perfect. They had their imperfections, but the devilish, nasty politics that Unity Party in opposition, that everything was bad in this country, they were telling the international community to impose sanction. They were using Heron Costa. They were using other people. They were using the Verdier. Sorry if I don't know the difference, because I don't know the difference between them. I don't know the one in Regime Speaker Richard Cohen's office, whether he's the one that was on Spoon Talk or was in the United States, speaking to other politicians and lawyers that the government of George Weah was doing this, they were killing all manner of people, they should impose sanctions, and a lot more. The United States government was convinced because of the loud crowd. They were using Congressman Chris Smith. They were burning tires. They were telling people to get in the street. They were risking people's life. They were using women. They had their women they were using to say this person raped, this person did this, this person did that. One of them confessed a couple of days ago that she was told to lie on Jefferson Koji. They did all manner of things. They made it to appear that George Weah was the wickedest man in Liberia. The United States government listened to their legislators. Today, no, the word spineless cannot be used. But yesterday, how the legislators, referencing CDC legislators as spineless, and all of those. Fast forward, George Weah is out of the presidency. Does it say that nothing awful going to happen? Does it say that Liberia is having honor Joseph Yema Boakai? No. Are these things that are unfolding, are they being created or initiated by George Weah? No. George Weah out of the presidency, almost 3 years. What sense does it make to still be referencing George Weah? The focus should not be on George Weah. Whether people, his officials were sanctioned, they were not sanctioned. George Weah is off the presidency almost 3 years. Unity Party presented itself as the angel, as the Messiah. And we never ever had the least thought that this country will experience any of these acts. That Liberia under Unity Party government will be like heaven. Everything will be perfect. All the officials will be perfect. The government be perfect. Joseph Boakai, the perfect, the holy of holies as president. That's the understanding everybody had, that none of these things were going to happen. To attribute, to go back onto George Weah is mental weakling. To go back and say and mention George Weah, to bring George Weah into the sanction or visa suspension is mental weakling. Only a dull person does that. Only a person who is dull. And you can see now why I always say that these people, under my caption, George Weah returns to the presidency 2029, are campaigning for him, because they can never go an hour, 30 minutes, 1 minute, 3 hours, least to say a full day, without mentioning the name George Weah. The name George Weah is by far better in Liberia within Unity Party officials, amongst Unity Party officials, than Joseph Yema Boakai. And every time they attribute anything to George Weah, they are paving the way, making it very easy for George Weah. In their dull self, they think they are demeaning George Weah. They think that the people will go against George Weah. Ironically, they get to like George Weah by the day, every day. So they are working for George Weah. That's what they are doing. Every time they mention the name George Weah, it's a plus for George Weah. It is not a minus. Every time they say this thing happened in George Weah government, they think that the people are discouraged. No, it is only Unity Party officials who will feel some way within themselves comfortably, but it does not change the reality that the people, vast majority of the people, 99.9% of the population of this country, they are waiting ready 2029 to cast it in favor of George Weah. So the argument should not be on George Weah. George Weah left almost 3 years. The focus is not on Weah. The focus is on Unity Party and Joseph Yema Boakai. This is a negligence. What we have before us, the visa restriction or suspension, not the making of George Weah, but the making of Joseph Yema Boakai and Unity Party government. The United States government did not say 2020, 2021, 2022. The United States government did not go back to 2021, 2022. They're telling you since Boakai came in what they have been saying over the time. So again, you cannot, as Minister of Information, talk about sanctioning, how we are people were criminals, the United States sanctioned them, and nothing of such will happen. First thing, listen, you accept it, but this is, I'm just being descriptive, because if you just live within the realm of logical reasoning, you will use these words I'm using. I'm not being insultive, I'm not being disrespectful, I'm just being descriptive. If you would say that the guys in George Weah government were sanctioned because they are criminals, and nothing of such will happen to your government, by reasoning, you are dull, because you do not know the future. You did not even see this one coming. How can you say it would not happen to your government? How can you? You may not receive sanction, but you will receive other things. And this is what you have received. This is not a full sanction in itself, but it's sanction. Because once there is restriction, once there is caution, once there is grip on things, people are suspicious of you. They are restricting your movement. It is a sanction in itself. Sanction is any restriction. You did not see this coming. Even if you saw it coming, you did not have the ability to prevent it. So how can you say, how can a minister of information who claimed to be educated, who claimed to be a public communicator, will say it will not happen? It is not about, nobody wants sanction to come on Unity Party government. Unity Party will bring it on itself. Nobody, it wasn't CDC, it wasn't CMC, it wasn't MPC, it wasn't any opposition party that brought this visa restriction. It was Unity Party government. It wasn't an opposition. Nobody went in America to lobby the United States or to persuade Donald Trump and say, we're against Unity Party, instead visa restriction. It wasn't anybody. The United States government did an own assessment. Trump told you from day one that he was cleaning the system. He started with USA. Beyond that, you saw other things that have been happening. So why couldn't you prevent those things? Did you see those things coming? Even if you saw them, too dull of a reasoning that you would say this thing, the Unity Party government would not be sanctioned. You can only hope that you don't experience what you don't want to experience by doing what is right. The United States, you blunder with all your international quote-unquote endeavors. You did not achieve anything the UN Security Council, it was George Weah making with his officials here and out of Liberia. You claim something that you did not work on. You other things that you did internationally. You went in a very America. You said George Weah government was wasteful. You said they were wasting the country's money. They were loose. You went, Unity Party went in before Uncle Sam, before the very Donald Trump, UN Security Council, the senator who was on George Weah back 24/7. Darius DeLong was splashing money in front President Donald Trump, the country money, because Liberia got UN Security Council seat. Right before the people's eyes, they saw all of those things. There are other issues which all of us know, and you government officials, you know. So why would PR now put it or bring George Weah into the picture? Ain't got nothing to do with George Weah. Only people who are dull of reasoning can do that. Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with George Weah. Where George Weah people were sanctioned, they were not sanctioned. The history. Am I getting living their life? Am I getting moving? Sanction can kill you. Chief Siri Island, you know how many years Chief Siri Island being on sanction? For almost 30 years. That Siri Island there, you see the life he living? You see how he moving on? Almost 30 years, Chief Siri Island being on UN sanction. Did the sanction kill him? Chief Siri Island still living. Look at McGill them. They're moving with their lives. If you travel all of Liberia and go to the United States, does it mean that you are not going to heaven? You should be concerned. The best place you should be concerned to travel, that when you go there, it is a curse. The heaven. Even the people in America, they want to leave from there. That's why they will move from the place they're going from African country to African country where they feel more comfortable. In their own home, they're not safe. Sanction does not kill people. Look at all of guys that are on sanction in Liberia. What do you see? The guys are just getting fat, enjoying themselves. They're moving. When you go to America, what does it mean? You go to America, what does it mean? It means absolutely nothing. The place that when you go to, you ought to go there. When you go there, you know that place, that heaven. That heaven. So, sanction, what are you sanction the people in that sanction? Get in there, it doesn't mean anything. It only means that you're using George Weah as appeasement for your negligence. Joseph Yuma Boakai and Unity Party, they are in power now. You're own up to your negligence. You're own up to your negligence. Only mental weakling would turn to the former government to irrationally appease themselves. Know this, there is nothing and nobody that operates in a vacuum. Nothing and nobody operates in a vacuum. Whatever happens, there is a reason why it happened. The time does not matter. The place does not matter. What matters is the reason for that event.
They impose visa restriction. We agree you're not the only country. But there is a reason for the 75 countries getting affected. What is required in this situation, by logical reasoning, Mr. Information Minister, is to sit down and do a sober reflection. That's what literate people do. You have this. So we did not see it coming. It has happened. What really led to this? Let's try to put our head to the table. Let's figure out. And own up to our negligence. When you have sanction coming against you, it is a negligence. Meaning you are not far-sighted. You are loose. So be prepared to accept whatever the sanction that will come your way. How can a minister of information don't know what a sanction is and will understand sanction in just one way? They tell you sanction is only preventing a person from leaving your country to go to another. Sanction is any punishment. Suspension is sanction. Restriction is sanction. Look up the word sanction. You look it up. You people that have smartphone, you just go to Google and put there sanction. That all you need to just put that sanction. Everything will fall before you. You will see. Because you see why our country, they will think that you're stupid. As my man Bernie Spear would say, they will make you to think that you are stupid. Meaning that you can't reason. You don't go to school. You don't know how to, you don't have reasoning ability. So they should reason for you. It simply means sanction. Sanction. Any restriction, any suspension, anything that restricts, anything that restrains is a sanction. If you understand sanction to only mean preventing people from moving from one end to another, no, then that's it. Up to you. It also means, sanction also means approval. Approval. So you just provide simple tutorial for the Minister of Information. Sanction, you'll look it up. Because I did that before coming on the air. I asked the repository of knowledge, they gave me everything. Sanction means restriction. Suspension can be sanction. Sanction can be suspension, it can be restriction. It can also be used for approval. For approval, giving the right to do or the right to go. So you say, Cynthia, yeah, the man doing X, Y, Z, oh, your brother doing that. You say, yes, I sanction that. Meaning, I gave the approval. You have to, when you're communicating to the public, know that you are communicating with people who are educated, people who are exposed, people who have understanding. Criminals, he portrayed it like no criminal or criminals in Unity Party government. We agree. You considered those people, or he described those people that they sanction as criminals. But do we not have criminals today? We have criminals all over the place in this government. Have we not seen the reports that been released by the international community? Oh, come on, PR, man, you are a small boy. Me, I said this thing from the beginning. That ministry, you are Peking. You know what that place. You can say anything. Your people, the people can tell you this thing, and you say this. I don't give a hang. God, we don't go around begging government people. I don't want recognition. Ask everybody, since I've been in the profession, no government official can put a hair on say we're getting me money or they making the office. No. We made some of these ministers. We made them. We can't talk all. Jal is a becket talk all. So we're talking here. I'm talking that I would be afraid
The people that can be talking, they be afraid, they don't want to say certain thing, that at the close of the day, they want something from the people, so they can't say it boldly. No, Chief. Sorry. So your own up to your negligence, yeah? Your own up to your negligence. Nothing and nobody operates in a vacuum. If it is accident or accidental, there is a reason for that accident. If it is intentional, there is a reason for that intentionality. Let's assume that this is an accident by the United States government. There is a reason for that accident, something that led them to take the decision. Let's assume also that it was intentional. There's a reason that led them to do that. So in such a situation, you want to own up, accept the situation. You look at it. Why is Liberia amongst the 75? You want to ask yourself a series of rhetorical questions. We were not part of the 40 countries earlier. Does it mean that we did exceptionally well? Why were we not amongst the 40? If we were not amongst the 40, wasn't it, or did it not portray that we did something right? We did good. We were excellent. If we were excellent, that did not include us into or amongst the 40, then why are we in the 75? And this is grave. This is grave. And in fact, we did not even know to date why we were singled out or we were not included amongst the 40. You want to ask yourself these rhetorical questions. And know this, you know, we told you from the onset. I believe this 100%. I know America for that. America is no respecter of president. America is no respecter of country. America is no respecter of a person. America can give you billion. When you mess up, they sanction you. They penalize you. It's not about whether your government will not be sanctioned. No. Own up to a responsibility. That why are we? Why are we in this? Why was Liberia amongst the 75? And it's not the issue of George Weah. You don't have to use George Weah as an appeasement. That appeasement, self-appeasement is irrational. What's it got to do with George Weah? George Weah been off the presidency almost 3 years. Everything that is happening is Joseph Boakai. Who is the president? Joseph Nyeman Boakai. All of these things are unfolding in and under his watch. That will be doing it for that. Let's move on to, before then, let's have an appraisal. Let's see, let's get a sense of the atmosphere in Nigeria too. Nigeria is one of the 75 countries suspended. They are not shifting blame on the opposition there. Liberia is the only country that blame is shifted on the opposition. What I have always said, what we have always said institutionally, you never, ever attempt to prove a point as a government told the opposition. It is not for you to prove a point to the opposition. When you make it your responsibility to prove a point to the opposition, you get all of your priorities disorganized. And that what is happening with Unity Party. Everything is distorted. Shamefully, Vice President is still saying the government does not know how to create jobs. The president is uncomfortable. They have granted him. He himself said that they have to look for new ways. All kinds of things are just happening. The people don't have to sanction your government. Nobody wants your government to be sanctioned. No, you will give them the reason if they find it necessary to sanction. If you people think that the opposition would do just as you people did against George Weah, you are mistaken. Your own conscience will prick you. Your reality, yourselves will come up. And you're showing it, and you're seeing it. Nobody going in the street. Nobody burning tires. Nobody do anything. This place will remain as peaceful. Your own conscience will expose you, and you people will give the international community to do what they want to do. It was not the opposition that told America to be the first to release that damning report on Liberia when they said that extrajudicial killing, arbitrary arrest in a unity party government. It wasn't the opposition that told the United States government to say that the police is the most dreadful police under Gregory Coleman. The Drug Enforcement Agency. It was not the opposition that told the American government to write in their report that say the AFL is exceptional. They saw everything. They put their documents together. It was not the opposition that went and told the other segment of the international community to release all that they saw. It was not the opposition community again that told the United States government to release the business climate report to say that business is not going in Liberia. Liberia business climate is bad under the Unity Party-led government. Was it the opposition? No. You make the case. Unity Party is making the case for the wrong reasons, and they don't want to own up to their negligence and recklessness. But we move to talk about George Weah. Chief, George Weah out of the play. What sense does that make? Somebody who a long time, when something happened today in our time, well, what has it got to do? What has it got to do with a man who gone long time? It only means we just don't know how to govern in the present. So we try to still use the mind game to play on the people. Nigeria own up to their responsibility. They are assessing. What led them to get in that 75. The other countries, they are looking at it. They are not shifting blame. That's the weakness, or one of the weaknesses of this government, and it's mental dullness. When you have something coming on you, then you want to sit down. That's how people move in life, literally. You want to sit down and do an assessment. Do a soul searching. Examine yourself. And not to be shifting blame. Only weakling shift blame. Only people who are not mentally balanced, not futuristic, will shift blame on people. Because when you're shifting blame is to say, you look at the man, that the man is cause of me being there, that the man is cause of me. That's how United Party people looking. Whole day, every day, they're shifting blame on George Weah. Why other countries taking ownership? They're only up to their negligence. They are fixing. But you hear, George Weah, you should be doing that. Come on. Let's have an understanding of the Nigerian atmosphere. Yeah. With BBC Nigeria correspondent Wamuyu Wanguru and his colleague who sits in BBC Kenya studio on the sanction, visa restriction by the US government. Let's have an understanding from this conversation.
People are really uncertain because this was a bit unprecedented. Just also noting that Nigeria had also received a partial ban in December. So most people are unsure of what this might mean, but at least what is clear is that this would affect those seeking immigrant visas, that's visas to either move, live, and work in the US. We do understand that it won't be affecting tourist visas, student visas, and business visas. So there's been a lot of conversation online and people wondering what this might mean for them and their plans to either live or work in the US. The government hasn't said anything specifically, but at least there's been lots of reaction online and even in local media.
What are people generally saying and what are their fears?
People are concerned because many people think that this first, because it's indefinite, many people think that it will remain in place until the Trump administration perhaps ends. But even though the administration did say this freeze will remain active until what they said, the US will ensure that new migrants will no longer extract wealth from American people, which is very in line with the America First agenda, more or less, which the President Donald Trump has been pushing, more or less. The statement from the State Department, the US State Department, did say that they wanted to stop what they called an abuse of migrants benefiting from the US, and I know that migrants sometimes receive benefits from host countries through things like free or subsidized healthcare, housing assistance, food assistance, and other welfare programs. So I'm guessing the US sort of wants this to either reduce or at least stop.
And are there indications at this point as to why these 75 countries, I can see some of those included Somalia, Egypt, Afghanistan, Iran, Brazil, Russia, Yemen, and more. Why those countries?
I mean, it's not clear other than the State Department saying that it doesn't want migrants benefiting from the wealth of American people, but also it kind of rings back to maybe what the president has said ending of last year, where he had, countries that he has said were third world countries, it intends to permanently stop migration from those countries. There hasn't been clear communication on specifics to why, other than just pointing towards these benefits and welfare that migrants receive from the American people. But maybe clarity will also come in a lot later, as this was just installed yesterday.
And the line that has been used to give this list is they say that they will pause rather than end, and it's target specifically immigration visa processing. Any indication as to how long this might last?
There hasn't been clarity on that. It was just really, it looks like things are very indefinite now. So until that is announced, we can't say for sure.
And, you mentioned Nigeria being among the countries that had faced previous suspensions of processing of visas. There are other African countries as well that faced those visas and applied reciprocal measures against the US. Has there been any reaction to that, and how is that going?
Oh, yes. Other than Nigeria, which received a partial ban, many African countries were on the previous list, and some of them have actually pushed back. Countries like Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, and even Chad have also said in reciprocation, they are also not going to allow citizens of the US to come into their country, just as a way of, reciprocating to the gesture that the administration had given to people trying to travel into the country. Currently, with this new announcement, there hasn't been any announcements from maybe African nations trying to either reciprocate, and I guess things will get clearer soon.
BBC Nigeria correspondent Wamuyo Wagu on the 75 countries. His country is there. Was talking about it with Ansoy, who is in the BBC Kenya studio. Let's go to the second pointer, then we are done for today. The Congress for Democratic Change on Wednesday or Tuesday evening, released a statement cataloging several incidences that occurred under the Unity Party government or by the Unity Party government. One of those incidences or one of those things they reported rape. Reported rape. CDC in its statement. Oh man, you stop calling here, man. What wrong with you? You're not listening to the radio. You stop calling all over. You're distracting people. I will announce. I tell you that this 2026 is different. Oh, when you start calling before you can open the line simply because you just want to talk, I will just explain these things and then we go. That 2026 here, that it mean, yeah, we in now. That not 2024, 2025. That 2026 here, we're on the real battlefront now. So if you can support us, if you can stand with us, you just want to be distracting because you want to talk, you want to say this, you want to say that, you can follow the procedure, then forget it. We'll sit down, we'll talk, we'll explain everything, and then we'll go on. Then you can keep your call. When I finish, I'm looking at the clock. When I finish, I will open the line. You know that is the party. But you just won't be calling. You'll leave the lines. You'll stop that. CDC in its statement this week reported 3,957 rape cases in 2024. Also in that statement released this week, it recorded 1,735 rape cases in 2025. Unity Party officials disagreed with what CDC National Executive Committee reported in a statement. So, here is it. CDC in 2019 recorded, because they said that there were many rape cases, unprecedented rape cases in the CDC government. They just came to power, not many rape cases. So they were comparing that comparatively, CDC government, the rape cases were just like a huge mountain. For them, not many rape cases have been reported because those NGOs, local NGOs, not having press conferences, they're not releasing press statements here and there as they were doing in the CDC government. Somebody will wake up in the morning because the boyfriend refused to give full money. Then the lady will yell and run to the police station and say, he raped me. Somebody wanting something from a given person, and then there is a delay and say, we'll make sure he goes to jail. Just say he raped. Mothers were telling their daughters to say, saying he won't do that or saying he did that to you, saying he acting like he know too much. When he can't, just say he raped me and you run to the police station to go jail. That's how we're doing. Again, the opposition today will do none of those diabolical acts. But Unity Party will continue to expose itself. They argue that the rape cases was unprecedented in Weah's time. Their time is by far limited. I want you to have a listen. Here is a simple information. CDC in 2019 recorded 2,708 rape cases. Unity Party in 2024 recorded 2,759 rape cases. What is the difference there? Is there a wider difference? Has anything changed? No. No sodomy was reported. I tried researching that before coming on. No sodomy was reported in CDC government. But Unity Party records one of the nastiest sodomies in the country's history. Whoever thought that the cleanest government will engage into nasty, dirtiest act, sodomizing 16-year-old boy, gang raping. We did not see, we did not hear, we did not read. The international community did not report civil society organizations that were against George. We are having press conferences here and there. They were making up some stories. They were exacerbating. They were exaggerating. But in their exaggeration, they never reported gang rape. Their own party, these civil society organizations and individual advocates, their own party, because they were campaigning against George Weah in favor of Joseph Yema Boakai, in their own party, Unity Party, gang rape. Their own police director said it, gang sodomy, meaning a group of people put their BB Toto in one ball, small ball. What a nasty act. And this the international community has recorded, because the police sentimental code, the man everywhere, the international community is documenting. Again, the next report coming up, we're telling you again, when we're talking it from the onset, you're so the opposition people, you're against the government, you don't want to tell Joe Weah will never come out to power. You continue to say Joe Weah will never come out to power as these reports are being released on you. And let me tell you one thing, as these reports, damning reports come out, no investors get the encouragement to come to the country. You will not have anybody protesting here. You will not have anybody burning tires. You will not have anybody doing any one of those things that you're doing in opposition. But your own attitude will tell the international community what to do. In clear view, everybody knows. That's it, 425. Sir, can tend to you now. You can have your say. You don't want to be calling while we are talking. We know that it is your right. We give you that right. No one can take that from you, but you want to wait when your time comes. Everybody has time. You can do the irony while you're blasting the people, then you're doing a wrong thing. So before we get to the line, let's read our announcement. We'll sound as a broken record. The King Support Basket. Do whatever you can, please. Drop whatever you can there. 0555 885 885 0555 885 885. That's the send wave. The local mobile money number 0777 017 885. Our partners are giving out money through us to you, Radio Entertainment Liberia. Today is the double as usual. What we always tell you, you're only playing for 400 Liberian dollars, only 4,000 rather, sorry, only 4,000 Liberian dollars you're playing for, and then you will have additional 4,000. That will be 8,000. You're putting in 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US. That's all. And the code to play *799 *24#. Did you get it? *799 *24#. You're depositing 100 Liberian dollars or 70 cents US. That's why you're depositing. Then you put in the code *799 *24#. 4,000 for you from the 100 or 70 cent, then extra 4,000 free just for playing free. Few comments, then we get to the lines. Matthew Choloplay, I know when the U.S. embassy closed down, they will put the blame on George Weah government. Philip Tukpa, the current government is filled with a bunch of educated folks, and the Ministry of Information is leading the way. Matthew Choloplay on the information, say Pierre, Honorable Menen knows no odd. Jimmy Pangbai, absolutely true about all you are saying. Okay. Emmanuel, bro. All right. Yeah, that is understood. Okay. So let's go now. You can have your say on 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 44 97. The women's line 0777 980375. Cut your radio off before you call into the station. Cut your radio off before. If you leave the radio on, once the feedback comes, you're off. And you want to go straight to the point. Hello.
Hello, Andrew.
Yes.
Good afternoon to the family of Kings 88.5. Yeah, I'm Joseph Yuki calling from the Penn Freeway Drive. I want to commend you for the top-down discussion. Pen Ado is so frustrating and exciting that, you know, in the different time for the party to proceed the way they are proceeding now for that, with our country. And I just want to read a short proverb to them. I want to just read a short proverb to them from the book of Proverbs chapter 3, verse 35. And a quote, and it says that the wise inherit glory, but fool shall be the but shame shall be the promotion of the fools. These fools will continue to get shame. Thank you for affording me the time this hour.
All right. Thank you for coming on to have a nice day. Sorry, let me put in this piece of advice discussion. I thought it's very important to share with you. Then we continue taking your call. It's about the same thing we talked about from the onset. Please have a listen. Please, just less than a minute or over that.
If you are going out, whether you are going to shopping, whether you are going to see your doctor, whether you are going to jog, whether you are taking your kids out to kindergarten, or you're going on a date, or church, or wherever you are going, please take along your passports. Take along your passports. For a long time, it has not been the tradition in America to take along your passports because the situation that exists right now did not exist before. If you want to be critical, if you want to be a typical Liberian who was born or lawyer from the time you left the maternity center, where every question you have to argue, you will have yourself to blame. Those of us who came to Europe and started out in Germany, we know that wherever we go, we have to take our passports along. That's normal day activities here. But we are not manhandled, roughed up, assaulted and harassed like you are facing in the United States right now. So if you are Liberian, or if you are African, or whoever you are, if you were not born in the United States and you sound like me with an accent or look like me, please take along your passport. Because if you don't, you will have yourself to blame. This is a PSA from me because I love you and I don't want to see you hurt by anyone.
Hello. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mr. Andrew, I'm Spencer Mohammed, and I call from my Pocono, down Coast Bone Hill, Western community. Mr. Andrew, thank you very much. You just said it all. You know, Mr. Andrew, what is happening to these guys? These guys, psychologically, they are caught up in their own lives because they lie yesterday. They lie on 16 billion issue. They lie on auditor death. They lie on 3 missing boys. Today, even they went as far as making it to appear like President Weah and his government never had any ideas about governance. That's why they were sanctioned. Today, honor their work, honor that their watchful eyes. For Liberia to be sanctioned in this form and manner, they do not know where to start from. That's why he's playing the mind game. But Pierre, let me tell you, those things without work, the Liberian people they wanted to know what you people have to offer. And no amount of lies will change the reality. If people are getting to know that you people lie, you people are not competent to do anything in this country. That's why you are caught up in your own lives. And when you man the microphone, you don't even know what to tell the Liberian people. Instead of telling the Liberian people about your gains, you always promoting President Weah. But we encourage you to keep doing it. 2029, you will find your way and go back to America. Thank you very much for always giving us the opportunity to make our presence on national issues. Thank you, Andrew.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Secretary. First of all, calling from Johnson Bay. Thank you very much, my brother. I want to speak to the Pia. When they come all to speak to Liberian people, because we are educated and we know better. You are not to say that you come in place CDC government. President, we are not in power again. You're in power. So the people that you're raping, that CDC government you're not raping people there. They rape all like you're sort of man. That CDC government you're. The NSF, when you carry people, the boys say, when you pray, who capture baby, you're sort of man, and they say, Allah. And God say, I will put myself in what we know, and Liberia will know. And God puts himself within seconds. The same NSA, the director, rape 116-year-old boy. We have any killer, what we want to do is say, and the world wants to see it. That's the woman. You know, Pierre Marco ministry, when they get nothing to tell their supporter, the one who shame for their supporter face, they think that when you can't air, when you say things, then like people will pass away. But let me tell you, Pierre, you said they will not censor your government. They will not go on. They will not censor me to eat. We are not going to lobby to censor you because I was trying to lobby and rather than the most censor certain official because you're yet the country for in power that opening the people are. But we will not do that.
All right.
And when we meet here, we keep silent and go and say we proof it there, and your government will deal with your government, they will censor your government, and the world will know all the things that you're doing, you will get a pay for it one by one. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Where is Andrew?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jimmy. I'm Jimmy. I cover on our daily school avenue in the Borough of Nikita. Same for Mr. Pierre. I don't have to waste my time on Jeremiah Pierre. Jeremiah Pierre is an educator before.
Yeah, but then you need not speak to it now. Then you leave it and go to another issue. Saying you don't want to waste your time.
So here's the issue. When it comes to the American government, as for me, I want more attention to county government. The only way the government will see for us, them and presenting group for the country is for watching the put pressure on the people. The visa, I want to bring it okay for me, but it's not sufficient. I want more restriction. I want more visa restriction on the people. Let the people be punished for the kind of soft and poverty that just the people out there in the country. People see their resources in the country. Who President Trump do not say that and look at society not back and care to suppress all. Who taking into action. If you see I want to say natural, only the United American action, but then say so. See what policy action. Oh, they say we only know that people. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is Ed Maka. I'm the visually impaired keeping this worker government fit to the fire to deliver. You know, the thing is about using CDC and George Weah as a cover-all or as a state rule for the Unity Party government. They need to stop because it's not happening there. Ever since CDC government has less power, and if you do the measurement, if you want to do the analysis, okay, comparative analysis of the two issues, you have been hit the worst. We are talking about individuals that will pick up during our government. We will let go. Okay? But yeah, when we were among the 40 plus countries, they say, oh, they drop us from there. And even among the drop us from there, they put restriction on the minister. In the past, the minister, when you are traveling and you carry with 10 person, whether they work in the ministry or not, you put your family people there, you just put all of the passport together and give it to one person, they take it to the embassy, they stamp it and bring it to you. But when they drop out of that 40 plus listing, they say that any minister you travel now, all the people that travel you, everybody should go for their own visa, they should go through their own interview separately. That's another thing that hits your government. You're not talking about it. This one, this is the entire territory of Liberia we are talking about. Yeah. So how do you compare that to that of few individuals that will pick up from the President Weah government time to sanction? So you're going even worse than the President Weah that you are talking about.
Yeah.
So I think they need to do more and start with giving excuses. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Carl. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I do my brother.
I'm good.
Yeah. This is my city calling from our resident Flower Farm in Boston Hotel. Thank you, my brother. You said it all. What kind of say that? What are people doing? We are in the 3 years now. We are in the 3 years. What's going on? Because we already left the state. We left the state. What you want to put blame on President Weah government and President Weah? We were here, say we are through government. They were giving men jobs to ball. Now we are left the state. That's what you're doing in this country. You're killing people every day. When we are there, people were dying. They were accusing we are government. You want fly die in the street that we are. When the men give you food to eat, the mass see there that we are. We put up we are here. Just a things and so then the post seeing that what happening in the country. There you go. So the Mina Pia talking about you put up government, Georgia government. It's far from that scenario. We have the other stage. You don't want that now. So the post see for the far, we're going to the fifth. It's very powerful for the far. What you been doing? All the reputation, all the put Nimi that we have to go to the matter report. Your government official and the line and the Maria who is in the sea in America. So get started. Today, come to 100 by today. We're going to feed the peace in Liberia. Someone want to travel now, I want to travel. When someone has to say, see me, America, I posted no, you lie now your child or now your brother. So what put you on today? Let's careful for you today. When they post in the about that we are government, it make it seriously happy. But then for some to talk, people are very shameless people. When go say we are there too. Now very powerful. They say we are there. What if we are there? We have a wicked and bad and evil. Now you got the Indian, the white Indian. You said, what's going on? Especially in Liberia. Without recession. I know the coffee man.
Okay. All right, my sister. All right. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
How you coming over?
I'm doing good.
I want to ask Jeremiah Pia. What of that because of we are in that position? Stupid man, that man. You think that man went to school? That man is no different from me. You think you go to school when a different thing comes, then you call we are that we are making them to fetch the poultry board and put them on the beach. That we are making them to bring a cattle breeding. We are making them to treat those children back to they are in jail. We are making them to break the law. What has never happened in Latino to be representative, the deputy representative. See what he was saying, what they never talking.
Our people that they say 1 cent. When they 1 cent card, then they see it, they call it off. They put it on their budget. See the kind of problem they put again. Eh? No, you Jeremiah. If you leave our blood tamon. If your mind move from on him, we always take your mouth. Thank you.
Hello. 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 You went off, madam. Hello.
Yeah, I mean,
but you went. Oh, what happened? Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm local star calling you from Johnson. I don't know the issue about Jeremy Mempia. We have government over here, the whole lot of protests around here, the government made the whole country unstable. At the end of the day, we are out of power and the position on the government. And now they are the one that empower. So they must leave the we are government and see how best the thing they say they come to power to change and then work on it and see how best the Liberia will be better. Because the king with the politics that they are going to make Liberia be like heaven. So now they shouldn't be passing and be bragging all around if they say they do anything better while they're raping all around here. So I'm asking people all around in the country. The country is not safe now. So what they're doing is not necessary. So when he said on a mega press briefing, what I hear, when you continue to talk, he must say more president we are. He must say more for we are. If not so, it will not be easy for him. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Women line you on. Hello. Let's go to the men's line. Women not. Hello. Hello, men's line you on.
Yes. Hello, Mr. St. Andrew. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. Speak louder, Chief.
Okay. This is Moses Wega calling from Blason. Are you getting me?
Speak louder. We are listening to you.
Okay. The Jeremiah Mayor, I don't know why I'm confused. Because as information minister, as a first information minister, like all probably disgracing Liberia. So you got no information again. Everything that we are. What's the problem? Eh? Why work out a pro visit disgrace to this country? Oh man, they have been low for him, man. We told them about it, work out their business. They failed to listen to us. Every time they had nothing to address, their own issue, the car, the biggest problem in the country. They don't really addressing it. No something. No work, nothing at all. Go in the market. The market will be there crying to the 4 hours. When it comes to own problem, they stay in the Louis Brown day. Look at Louis Brown over there. I live over there for over 10 years. Nobody can say that Louis Brown even divide or divide cold water among anybody in our community. So bad people. It's kind of government just spoiling the country. Yeah? It's just spoiling the name, it's spoiling the image of the country. Then he comes to the time about we are. What we are to do with that? Yeah? So man, thank you. I don't know. Oh God. Okay.
Okay, Chief. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, my son St. Andrew.
Yeah.
Thank you for opening our eyes. And we now stupid. The Jeremiah Tiao, the Daniel Sano. They can't do with us Jowiani. Because what Mimi according today is Sano Jowi are having mosquito brain. Then I told you that day that you were having mosquito here. Then he a minister, because the whole government official, I don't know why they dancing with Jowiani. The extension that they put on there, they should think on it when they say somewhere. Because Jovia, they not made them, they put Spencer on them. But I want to tell our people that they not get space. Because if they have space, the 5 senses correct, the 5 senses correct, they will never call Joviani in their government. See, this is why we informing them always they should forget about Jovia. That our president and that may coming back. Everybody dancing, they may coming back and they jealous of the men. So they can't what they gonna do away with the nanny. And like Jovia said, they more process on them. So I want to tell the Nigerians, you vote for our own. Jovia is our own. They start in the chair, they are aliens. They talk out, they Jeremiah Kungo, they Walimoko Kungo. All of them, they are aliens. So therefore, our own car in the chair that will take care of us. Period. Thank you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. You went off. Let's try again. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Fine.
Yeah, the information minister, when they were coming in power, they said when we come on power, we're going that we will be making information will be getting information with him. Then when I go outside do for the whole world, I tell come go to the city here that we are only in that business coming to put it on the media. All the we are here, we are going to. They can't say, oh, that they want to do, they want to continue to do. We send them, we swap to no food, no nothing, no medicine in the hospital. Even we have been on that way. We're breaking it. We want to report the book you want to do, but partner at the coming to the city here, that we put one from the no, we have been in that more. And we are talking 2021, they start in town, they come to our and our left to they for. Thank you.
All right, my brother. Thank you to all of you. You did extremely well, more than extremely well. So let's go to our. We are returned to the presidency 2029. Then we are out. It is 2026. We are in the warfare Google. We inside now. Ain't no joking. We inside. Under this caption, the caption is we are returned to the presidency 2029. Under this caption, don't worry, things are going to get better. Sometimes you have crises in your life, but no crisis lasts forever. Every crisis has an end. The crisis can face you. The crisis can be that of a friend, a family, just outside of your personal reach, but you have direct beneficiary connection. And so what affects that person affects you. But it doesn't take long, then the crisis is over. Under this caption, we are returned to the presidency 2029. Have this in mind. Can I talk about that? Yeah, I think it's within, but I don't think it need much of an attention. No. Because to give that a full understanding or full attention is to be elevating or adding substance to what, in my opinion, does not have substance, will be disrespectful to those who on that side. So let's leave it. Those of you who have access to you can read it. It's Philbert Brown's article, say from where I said, I think what he said was 48.9% of the people on that side relied on remittances, and something like that, which is very demeaning and disrespectful, is to say all the people on that side, they are just weaklings, can do nothing, is wholly and solely depend on the U.S. government. And so, in essence, he was trying to say that the decision taking is good by the U.S. government, because most of the people, there are liability on the government. That what he was trying, or he meant in his article. Yes, he said the usual, from where I said it, he said 48.9% of Liberians living in the United States live on welfare, causing the U.S. to suspend immigration visa for Liberians. Well, you will have to sympathize with him, not necessarily that he's right, but that is from a political perspective. He's feeding on the government. That's how he works. We saw him in the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government with all kinds of stuff. Ellen would give them money. They had this thing called Big Fish. Ellen would send them Ghana when they write some articles. They say all kinds of damning things about the government, or sometimes in favor of the government. They are giving some money to go and amuse themselves. Then came George Weah's regime. Less than no time, he got close to George Weah. I think he said that he's related to George Weah when Weah came to power. And so he was in the corridor of George Weah, enjoying himself, getting what he got today. George Weah is off power. Boakai is in. He's writing in favor of Joseph Yima Boakai. You see, Liberian politicians. That's what I mean when I say Liberia don't have politicians, because they gallivant. They move from one government to another, from one government to another. They're never consistent. Anybody who moves from one government to another, from one government to another, praising the current and lambasting the past, you have no integrity. You are displaying no integrity. So you have to understand the condition presently. In the morning, we'll listen to Israel asking you people to remember your brothers and sisters in prayer, and that is good. You have to do that. You're not sending anything to them. They try whichever way they can in their little selves to be of help voluntarily, but they are in a situation that they didn't expect, they didn't pray for, they did not plan for it. So what is happening now is what I thought to share with you so that you know. Right now, the situation is in twofold. It's psychological. The first one is psychological, meaning they are thinking too many things are running through the mind, so they're not settle normally. You have to take that into consideration. Secondly, they are going to reorder priorities. Reordering priorities meaning if they were sending money to Liberians back home, they're going to look at the possibility of continuing that or the possibility of not continuing that. Because every time you find yourself in a squeeze situation, it demands, it forces on you. The atmosphere presses you to reorder priorities. And once that goes into full effect, it's not going to be like it was. So while you're Israel talking to you, telling you to remember those people, you pray for them, yes, that's true. You need to do a prayer works. Prayer can heal. Prayer can take away crisis. Prayer can do just anything. It doesn't have to be you praying for yourself, but you can pray for another person and God can answer that prayer. But it is a serious situation they find themselves in. It is purely psychological. because you don't know the next move. This is not to say every one of them over there in some way, somehow, no, they have all of their documents. Most of them, 99.9%, are citizens of that country, and all of that, everything is just okay. But the United States atmosphere is just an unpredictable one with an unpredictable president. So you have to reason with them. If they're not turning to you, don't think that they've done it intentionally. It's because of what they are going through. Once people start to reorder priorities, meaning it will not be as the way it was because of the condition. Yeah. Right now, they're going through psychological. What they're going through is purely psychological. It's about the mind, because the group they call ICE just moving from one end. I watched one of the scenes on social media. The guy is in his store, black guy, and they just went in. I thought they were armed robots, but the commentary from the lady who was on the scene made me to know that, oh yes, this is what we've been saying and talking about. 4 of them in the Jeep. They just got down. You couldn't see their faces. The marks, well protected. And then they took the guy. They talked briefly, and then they went into the store. The entrance, the door, to say in the Liberian way, is transparent glass. So they went inside. What happened, what didn't happen there as per the conversation. Then they brought the guy outside. By then, they had cuffed him. They had cuffed him. Just how Teacher Light provided us a good tutorial education about why people cough. They did not consider the man a convict of anything, but they cuffed him. How I like that lecture given by Teacher Light, that clarification on why people are handcuffed. That was more than an education, a whole school for me. So when Teacher Light was giving that lecture, then I immediately imagined the scene I'm explaining to you. They did not see the guy as a potential threat. They did not see him as a convict, but they just felt it was the need, or it was timely, and so they handcuffed him. So I said, okay, I can see why what Teacher Light was explaining. This is it. The guy, they stood outside for a minute or two. They were conversing. They were not beating on him. They did not put a hand on, nothing whatsoever. He was cuffed after the 1 or 2 minutes conversation outside, and then they moved him to the car. They put him in the car. And then they got in. And the lady was there with his commentary. You just took the man. The man is a citizen. He does nothing. Why is this? Is it because of the skin? And, you know, she started blasting at the police. And those guys on that side, you say anything to them, they ain't get time. You cause them, you cause their mind, cause their power. They doing their job. It's not like the guys here where policemen will say, you cause me. Then they're going on you. The lady said all that she wanted to say, all kinds of words she used. The guys had no time. They just went after the conversation. They put the guy in the car. They carry him. And then they stole right in front of a gas station, or they have gas station there because there where she was standing during the videotaping. So you have to see reason. Empathize with them, sympathize with them. We too sympathizing and empathizing and praying for them because they have been of great help to us too, individually and institutionally. Yeah, you see, they've been dropping in our basket. So if they're not dropping in the basket, we can't blame them because of what is happening. Yeah. So you have to see reason. The second thing is Douglas Fangalo, I came across it this morning, and I think I just felt that I should share it with you. His advice, though it doesn't, you are not the one in the situation, but it just gives a picture so you know exactly what it is. He is in Germany, and he is sympathizing and empathizing with his black brothers and sisters, Liberian and others who are in America going through this, to share this piece of advice with them.
If you are going out, whether you are going to shopping, whether you are going to see your doctor, whether you are going to jog, whether you are taking your kids out to kindergarten, or you're going on a date, or church, or wherever you are going, please take along your passports. Take along your passports. For a long time, it has not been the tradition in America to take along your passports, because the situation that exists right now did not exist before. If you want to be critical, if you want to be a typical Liberian who was born or lawyer from the time you left the maternity center, where every question you have to argue, you will have yourself to blame. Those of us who came to Europe and started out in Germany, we know that wherever we go, we have to take our passports along. That's normal day activities here. But we are not manhandled, roughed up, assaulted, and harassed like you are facing in the United States right now. So if you are Liberian, or if you are African, or whoever you are, if you were not born in the United States and you sound like me with an accent or look like me, please take along your passport, because if you don't, you will have yourself to blame. This is a PSA from me, because I love you and I don't want to see you hurt by anyone.
Now, this is what it is with some of the people in the United States. Those of you following the screen, you see there? There's the passport right on the dashboard. So if the person is stopped by ICE, immediately they see the passport, maybe they will just run through it. You see how they're moving now? Yeah, you have to display your passport. The same thing the guy just said. You get that? Did you see it? Yes, again. Let's go. Yeah. The same thing he just said. This is it. You move with your passport. You see the passport on the dashboard? This person is driving through. He or she placed the passport right on the dashboard that is visible enough, just in case he or she is stopped by ICE or any security within the United States. Let's see, and would not encounter problem. Let's have a listen again.
If you are going out, whether you are going to shopping, whether you are going to see your doctor, whether you are going to jog, whether you are taking your kids out to kindergarten, or you're going on a date, or church, or wherever you are going, please take along your passports. Take along your passports. For a long time, it has not been the tradition in America to take along your passports, because the situation that exists right now did not exist before. If you want to be critical, if you want to be a typical Liberian who was born or lawyer from the time you left the maternity center, where every question you have to argue, you will have yourself to blame. Those of us who came to Europe and started out in Germany, we know that wherever we go, we have to take our passports along. That's normal day activities here. But we are not manhandled, roughed up, assaulted, and harassed like you are facing in the United States right now. So if you are Liberian, or if you are African, or whoever you are, if you were not born in the United States and you sound like me with an accent or look like me, please take along your passport. Because if you don't, you will have yourself to blame. This is a PSA from me because I love you and I don't want to see you hurt by anyone.
Under the caption, we are returns to the presidency, which takes into consideration other things, but that is the caption because everything, yeah, that himself. Unity Party official. Unity Party official. Unity Party official. Their conscience not clear. Mark Jabate said something. He said the Taylor regime which celebrated bad news. Taylor regime was bad news by itself, just their atmosphere. The Ellen regime will pray for bad news. That's not true. He said the We Are regime will wish for bad news. We Are regime, you did not wish for bad news. You created diabolically wicked, deadly news. Then he said, President Bouakai regime, they are praying day and night for bad news. Let's see, whether you like it or not, this one I can't try to pretend. I will not pretend. Come on. It's unto you individually. It's unto you individually. It is unto you. It is a right. It is a right. Because it is a right, so God said, do unto others as you will have them do unto you. It is a right. You can wish them bad, you can wish them evil. There's nothing wrong with that. You can wish them bad news. You can even wish them death. They wish George we are deaf. That good news, Unity Party. They did not come out, and they came out to say, George, we are sick. They put all kinds of pictures, or they use their AI technology and say, look at the men are drained, the men sick. What were they doing? Was it a good news? In life, whatever people wish for you, you wish it for them in return. When Unity Party wish evil for you, wish even greater evil for them. When they wish your government bad news, don't wish good news for the government. Wish the government bad news. When they wish death for your standard bearer, wish death for the standard bearer. It's equal. There's no sin with that. It's not a violation of anyone's right. God does not even consider it sin. That's why he said, if you don't want anybody to wish you death, don't wish him or her death. Meaning, as you say it, the person hears it, you become the enemy of that person, and the person will track you down too. And you see how God fair? You see why God is a good, is the good God? He said, do unto others as you have them do unto you. Unity Party, if they wish you evil as they did, wish them evil. If they wish you death, wish them death. Anybody who wishes bad things for you, that person is your enemy. An enemy is that person who devises evil against you. An enemy is that person that devises or plans or wishes evil against you. You, in return, should do the same thing. And the reason why you should do it, so that the person will know that it is wrong and it hurts. So they don't want anybody to wish bad news, but nobody wishing bad news for Unity Party. That Unity Party bringing all the bad news. Nobody wishing evil for them. Yesterday they were wishing evil. Yesterday they were wishing death. They were praying. Unity Party people, they say George Weah should crash in a plane. They said George Weah should, when George Weah in a plane, the plane should crash and let George Weah die. Unity Party people. That's what they said. They wanted to hear George Weah death news. Interestingly, while they were wishing George Weah death news, they had an accident in waiting. So Mark Jabate saying that we're praying day and night for bad news. Who will waste their time praying for bad news on Unity Party when Unity Party is a bad news? That's Unity Party identity. Unity Party is just bad news. So nobody will pray for bad news. Why will we bring curse on ourselves to wish evil on Unity Party? But if you find it necessary, you can do. And they can do nothing to you. It is your right, just as it was the right, and just as today. And are they saying, in the same era, they were wishing we are deaf? And they go put we are on bed. They did the IT Sunny. They say, oh, the men and die. Unity Party people. And you know why they were doing all that thing? Because they're afraid of this man. They're afraid. I told you people yesterday, I always say, the reason, only one reason they're doing all of these things, they are afraid of George Weah. They are afraid. Joseph Yema Boaka can never, ever beat George Weah at the ballot box. Don't even talk about the two weaklings. Unity Party forced Boakai to contest 2023 because there was nobody in the party. Moreover, they told him that it's an opportunity to survive. Because Joe Boakai was growing. Didn't the vice president, the former vice president, Joe Howard tell us that the man fell off, that we had to charter a plane to rush into the hospital and pay the bills, that the George Weah man he can speak to today. He sees George Weah as his enemy. A Unity Party, though from time to time, study Unity Party history. They put just wicked in everything. They just wicked. Go back to Unity Party history. They just bad, just wicked. They're good at planning evil. They're good at executing evil. They're good at wishing death onto people. But they never want it to happen to them. Unity Party is Satan. That just as you can see, you read in the Bible and in Revelation, God he said the church, the synagogue of Satan, that Unity Party right there, synagogue of Satan. Only evil only evil Satan thinks of, only destruction. And that's what you see of Unity Party. Take their history. Take your time, just look at Unity Party history from day one till today. What they've been associated with: evil, death, destruction, evil witches, undermining, creating chaos, instability. Because they weren't there, this man must not have peace. The which evil, for we are all true, they destabilize we as government. Today, Unity Party still doing it, going after people who associated with George Weah. When you associated with George Weah or you associating with George Weah, you are the prime target of the police. Let Modiba Molu and Festus Logan there. Yeah, there. And they say they charge them because of disorderly conduct, all kinds of stuff. It's not so much, there was nothing major that happened on December 17th. But because the police director said you're defer the protest, and Modiba Molu said we'll go as planned December 17th. Then the police director came back and said, okay, since you want to be defiant, anything happen will hold you responsible. So they look into it, they say this won't happen, that won't happen. They charge them. Look at the people who are not associated with George Weah. What you see, they have Unity Party police protection. The police protect them. Once you are associated with George Weah, or you were associated with George Weah, you're not associated with George Weah, you let George Weah. But the fact that you associated with George Weah, for Unity Party, that stigma is on you. They will stay haunt you. For them, when you want, if you must live peacefully in Liberia, if you should have good life in Liberia, you must not identify with George Weah. You must not identify with George Weah. Hear me and hear me well and clear. For Unity Party, what we see, those actions, clearly is what I'm explaining to you from a practical reality. If you want to live peacefully in Liberia, within Unity Party or under this Unity Party government, you must not associate with George Weah. If you are associated with George Weah, you are a prime target. 2, if, based on my observation of them, their acts, if you must live peaceful in Liberia, unharassed, unintimidated, no false charges coming against you, you must say nasty thing against George Weah. You must curse George Weah. You must talk bad thing about his government. You must say all kinds of things. And that's what you see most of the guys are doing. They're not doing it because they want to do, but they are coerced. So they're going around and say, Joe, we are this, Joe, we are that, Joe. What kind of people who consider themselves normal will just take on one person, discussing one person, talking about one person, condemning one person all of the time? It is not normal. But that is the atmosphere that has been created. I bet you, let something happen and any one of us, we in the public or we are at that police station, the police will find some kind of thing to arrest. So they'll say Sam Andrew in jail, and yeah, the police director can there. Oh, Israel Bob we are here has been called because of XYZ. The fact that these people, they on George Weah radio station. Upon anything that the atmosphere we have seen. And that is why you have to draw the line between you and these people. I advised you people last year, when if you are you are within the realm of the opposition, be careful. I'm not saying you should not be friendly with them. I'm not saying that they are not your friends. There are a number of good, sound, intelligent, responsive Unity Party supporters who are humans. Equally, there are the bad ones. Those are the ones you have to be careful with. Draw your line. Be mindful. When you see Unity Party people somewhere talking about the government and you are a sedition or you are a sympathizer or friend of George Weah or friend of CDC, don't go there to talk anything. Quietly move from there. If you don't get anything to do, you go in your room, you lay down, you sleep, or you put your music on loud, you find something to draw your attention. Because when anything happens, even if they wrong you, they will run ahead and identify themselves as Unity Party supporters. Right there, you are indicted. You're finished. Any depot you go to. Unity Party hate George Weah that they want to see George Weah. They want to hear George Weah deaf. These Unity Party people, they hate George Weah to the core. The most devilish man on earth, Satan. They hate Satan. They're not afraid of Satan. That George Weah they hate. Look at all those events. At the police station, at the court, the police moving to arrest. Look at all those things. The people don't want to see. Don't even identify yourself as a sedition or supporter of George Weah. You don't honor the Unity Party-led government. You don't listen to that crap that Joseph Boakai brought out saying that it should lower the temperature of our national discourse. How can you be telling people to lower the temperature of the national discourse when your very people, they are increasing it? You know what I mean when you say lower the temperature of the national discourse? He was not saying that the people were intellectualizing. He was referencing the gutter politics he heard and read, and they talked to him about some of those things that his people were doing. They generated everything hit in this country. Nobody, they generated it. That today you still hear them, instead of talking about national events, instead of talking about bringing the country together, instead of just things that can move country forward, they stay bringing out hate. George Weah this, George Weah that. His people are criminals. They sanction them. The more you say those things, what are you doing? You're telling the people that we hate you to the core, and you think the people will say that? And that's why I like Mange's response. And they need to say more. They need to face these people. Silence, opposition silence, has given Unity Party this illusion that they are the law and gospel in Liberia. In the midst of all that they are doing, it doesn't stop George Weah from returning to the presidency 2029. Every day you will hear it. Every day you will hear it. You say George Weah will not return. We understand, we hear it. So we say our own. George Weah returns to the presidency 2029. So that the reality will be the determining factor. Keep saying George Weah will not come back to power, as if it's Unity Party personal property or Unity Party home or Unity Party dynasty. Instead of concentrating on what you have to do and think about your life. What I do know in life, when you say this person will not, you always suffer the effect before. That's one good thing I know about life. That's why we are very careful in our individual personal life and interaction with people. We don't tell them this thing will happen to you or you are not. No. We don't do it. Because one, we have the fear of God. Two, we don't know the future. You go ahead and be talking, George, I will never come back. I mean, I've said it, and I will always say, because that is the reality. You might not see 2029. Instead of concentrating on what you have, be talking, hold it, George, I will not come out, George, will not come out, George, I will not come out to power. You should be thinking whether you will even see 2029, because you have to be in 2029 to ensure that George Weah does not come back. But you don't even know whether you will reach 2029. You don't even know what will happen. No one knows the future. God in heaven himself said it. That don't brag of the future because you do not know what the tomorrow brings. Don't be like those diaspora Jews that got converted to Christianity. They felt they had the future. They felt they could determine future. They felt they could decide their fate and the other's fate. What happened at the end of the day? Disaster befell them. Most of you United Party people, you ain't fear God. No, you're not even in that book, which is the leadership of the whole world and institutions and individuals called the Bible. The Bible is everything: politics, religion, agriculture, just all of the disciplines of the world. And it's predominantly leadership. It's predominantly leadership. Look at the Bible. The men tell you, as a leader, don't predict evil for your fellow men, because you might just fall into it. So what is your life? You're bragging of life today. You say, oh, the other man will not have life 2029. The man said, come on. Do you know your life? You're saying George Weah will not come by 2029. But do you know whether you will reach 2029? That you are saying George Weah will not come out, will not become president 2029. So God asked through James to the boastful people, just as United Party people are boastful. And that question mainly went to United Party people and still going to United Party people. In James 4:14, when he said, what is your life? What is your life? Because the same thing that he said, Proverbs 27:1, that's the same thing he's saying in the New Testament. In Proverbs 27:1, he said, do not boast of the future, for you do not know what the morrow brings. No one knows the future, but you say as if you get the future, that you will decide a person's fate. Come on. People said that 2025, we were in 2024. They said 2025, oh, they will not do this. They will not 2025. They ain't even see it. They left in 2024. I'm not wishing evil. I'm not wishing death. I'm only telling you what it is. By common reasoning. And what God said, because of God controlling the future. You said, George, we are not coming by 2029. God can take George Weah to 2029, beyond 2029, become president. Yeah, and you will not see the inauguration. But you said the person will not. You don't get the future. That God get it. That's why the man put it there. And in Old Testament, New Testament, look at it. Proverbs 27:1. Look at it. That's what the man said. James 4:14. Proverbs 27:1. He said, for you do not know what the tomorrow will bring. Meaning, you know what 2025 will be like, what 2026 will be like, what 2027 will be like, what 2028 will be like, what 2029 will be like. So you can position yourself like you, the person who can determine a person's destiny, a person's fate. You should not be doing that. So the people now, within the intellectual realm, they say, but truly, that thing makes sense. So concentrate on what you're doing, what you intend to do, call the issues. They stop being a determinant of future when you don't know your future. How can you say, hey, Unity Party people, you don't even know your own future. From now until 2029, you know how it's going to be like? Then you say this person, you think they play for Unity Party, you think a Unity Party personal property, or you want to turn the country, then you change it now to the Republic or Unity Party, you change the constitution, you change everything. Send your personal property, send Ellen talk or that Unity Party Sunday, maybe you still have the true win Sunday, you want to bring it and just you are Unity Party affairs. You go up your account now. We are returns to the presidency 2029. See you. Yo, yeah, every day we hear you. And you're saying your own. You say your own, we say our own. That democracy. You say your own, we say our own. You say we are not coming back. We say we are returning to the presidency. And y'all see the real. I'm talking about football setback. Turning setback into comeback. Football that one on the screen. Yeah, Chief. That one it on the screen. The one that you will see physically, even though that one is physical, but you're not there. You're not there, you're watching it on the screen. And I Diallo, you're watching it on the screen. They weren't talking about that one you see it setback into comeback. You will see it, you were talking, just like Isaiah said, he said, they will see it, they were talking. Yeah, you know, that's where that song came from. When you hear people in the church, they singing, say, they will see it, they were talking, they came from Isaiah. Isaiah said, they will see, they will hear it, they will see it, they will talk it, meaning they will give the testimony. Y'all gave that testimony of setback into comeback by George Weah. Weah returns to the presidency 2029. I see you. The world's greatest team, FC Barcelona, is on tonight. Yesterday, Madrid went home. Madrid is too dull. Second division team, they sit in 17th place in the second division. They flog Real Madrid. The Barca curse, 3-2 curse. I see you. Diallo is already here. I see you. The doctor is in. The doctor is in. The teacher of the land. The light of the land. The evangelist. Anthony at Law. A.B. William is in at 8 this evening, 8 o'clock. With Face the Issues. You don't want to miss it. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home.
Jah Rastafari. It's a redemption day.
Wagwan must struggle.
Wagwan revolution, people. Wagwan the blue revolution. You ready? CDC, you ready?